And welcome to another episode of DIOTALK. I'm Dio. Let's talk. My guest of the evening has not been here for quite some time. But in that time, he's won multiple awards regarding filmmaking, writing, producing, you name it. He's done it all, ladies and gentlemen. Well, welcome to Zay Rodriguez. Welcome to the show, man. How are you?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. It's been definitely a while.
Yeah, man. It's
It's
been a while. You've
it's
been
nice to
busy
see you.
though. Likewise, likewise. I like the Superman shirt. The
Yeah,
hoodie.
kind of feel like, I'm in my element right now, feeling like a superhero, feeling good, feeling blessed, back on the show.
Mm.
So I had to wear it.
I feel that, man. So, what's up, man? You've been busy. You won Mad Awards. You've been producing some new films.
You basically said it all. I've been, in a sense, sort of low key, working on projects, uh, winning awards, brainstorming on some new ideas for
Mm.
the next couple of months. Hopefully, we get aside from what we're doing now with a project called Bonds Brief, which we started filming last weekend.
Nice, nice.
Um, yeah, we're slowly trying to transition over to maybe one or two projects each year, opposed to the crazy schedule of like having a project every month.
Yeah,
Because that, nothing against that. Power to the people who done it. I mean, I've done it, but trying to take things a little bit slower now and condense the amount of projects as they come. But that's
nice.
really what I've been up to be honest.
What's this? What can we expect on this new film you're working on? Can you speak a little bit about it? Do you want to wait?
No, we could definitely speak a little bit about it. So it's an emotional narrative.
Mm.
Basically, it touches upon themes of love, betrayal, loss, and grief. So it's really more of an exploitation of all those things,
Mm.
wrapped up in like one film. Um, so yeah, I wish I could tell you a little bit more about it, but yeah, just stay tuned. Um, and hopefully we got something cooking for you guys.
Boom. I like that. Is it going to be a short film or like you what you tend to do, or is it going to be different? Maybe 20 minutes.
So the goal with this particular project is
Yet to be
shoot it.
determined.
It definitely is to be determined.
Mm.
What we want to do though is we definitely want to shoot it. We want to finish it. We want to have a premiere. We want to release it out to certain festivals, and we want to find distribution. And the only way that like certain distributors like or streaming platforms, um, to say the least, they require certain time frames.
Mm.
So anywhere from like maybe 40 to 90 minutes. We won't know just yet. We will know once it's in the post-production process, it's ready to go. We'll know exactly what runtime it is that we have. But the goal is definitely to have it be at least anywhere from 40 to, you know, at least 60 minutes, an hour at least.
Mm. I like that because that opened up doors for you, especially as a filmmaker, because you've been used to doing these short films and now actually make it more, because it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's a lot of it's more work, it's more detail
Yes.
oriented regarding story, shot wise, um, just producing the content that's needed to get the story right.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when you're, talking about a story that deals with like something that's so relatable to everyone, when it comes down to grief.
Mm, yeah,
And so, that's something that you can't kind of like just cut short. There you gotta have at least something lengthy enough to share so that people can really you can get the audience engaged into, hopefully learn something to educate the audience while you're telling the story.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Gravitate, make the audience feel.
Yeah,
I wanted to
exactly.
ask. I wanted to ask because you mentioned distribution, which is, despite it mean you, we do the same thing, just different structure, right? Distribution is a big thing, and how we can get content out there. Has it been challenging in any way? Just noticing how the how do I explain it? The channels of sharing your content has changed because everything's streaming now. And like I know I started to research like Tubi. Everybody is going to Tubi to promote their content. And then I stumbled upon that you have to actually sell your content to Tubi so it can be watched there.
Yeah, there is this website called Film Hub, and it's basically a self-distributor. And what it does is once you have a product, you can upload it there, you can keep it there, and then whatever streaming platforms want to license your project, what they'll do is they'll license it, they'll have it on their streaming platforms, and then depending on like the revenue, how many people watch it, how many views you get, also that also goes to the cast and crew that were involved. So, for example, like me, I would have to promote it, I would have to market it, I would have to get the word out there so that people can actually go and watch the film. I think to me, that's the most difficult thing to do, especially when you're not well known,
When you're
you
doing
know?
it all
So,
yourself as well.
yeah, so like it's that's the challenging part to really get people invested in what you done or are doing or selling. And so yeah, man, it's definitely tough, but I like a challenge, and again, it's something that's not going to be for everyone, and that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. See, and the mix of our mix match, our journey since the last time I had you here, I've been working on this project, and where I know I mentioned it to you a couple of times, but I've actually taken a couple step back in educating myself and putting all the aspect on the table to present it to future investors or future individual who wants to partake. Like I feel like we're entering in the decade of the 2020 century, right?
Mhm.
And where things are changing. If you look back in history, like we're still on the early stages. We're 4 years into this that new decade. And
Yep.
if you look prior to that, there's always something going on. When either pandemic or entertainment industry, there's always something. I've had a very hard time, but I've every time I reach out to people and try to inspire them, let's start with our own new network,
All right.
right? If YouTube it's saturated. I've been this year beginning this year I was able to finally monetize on my YouTube channel, and it sucks. It sucks. It's like it's not what everyone thinks.
Right.
Like as much as I'll just say this, as much as views as a content creator, as much as views the video may have, which is great, is not near enough to pay what it took to produce the content,
Yeah.
right? So we have YouTube, we have, now Spotify is becoming a form of video as well. So you never know if that changes and now people can upload their own film or become a streaming service, right? Uh Netflix, Tubi, Prime Videos. So we have all these major platforms and they're so saturated. I've been trying to convince people to like, yeah, we if we put all our content together, right?
Right.
And we're able to bring that back the early 2000s, late 90s, and where everything's free in a way that it has advertisement. Advertisement is
Right.
very important. And then because
No, it's
advertisement, it's so, how do I put this? It's so easy to obtain and everybody's doing it the value of the item or the content being out there, it once again is so saturated. There's
Yeah.
no more value. So I'm always reaching out to people like if we take our content, put it together, and put it under one tree instead of saying go to YouTube, go to Zay TV, right? Or something like that. And a slow build because everything takes time.
Hmm.
And where, let's say each person puts 25 bucks, 20 to 25 bucks a week and take that money not to use it personally, but to invest into advertisement and and create the platform and where they can find videos, interviews, all these things, we can succeed and achieve what we're trying to put out there. I mean, people get to know you and what you're doing, me, others. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's something that
I'm sorry if I rambled on.
no, no, by all means, man, like it's something that you're passionate about. It's something that you would want to see, would you like to see, and would also, it would not only would benefit you, but it would benefit those who follow, in your footsteps, who want to
Mhm.
tag along for the ride. I always thought that, you know, uh, Dio Talk would be like one of those like in-person live podcast shows where, even if it's in the
Mhm.
comfort of your own home, you have, two mics, podcast mics at that.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's something I truly strive for, but as a person that I'm not good with other people's number, I'm good with my numbers.
yeah,
It has to pay for itself. Somebody who's constantly doing real estate and working with my wife, and the reason we haven't taken the leap of investing in properties is because it has to pay for itself, Like me bringing out, and this is something me and you have talked plenty of times. I remember one time I sent you that pic of the Oscar or the Emmy. Remember that?
yeah, you did
Right?
it, man. Amazing, amazing.
Right? And that's the vision, but it has to be paid for itself. And that's my only argument. And I'm my business is difficult because I'm in the hope business. Everything I do, the platform I create for those who like yourself want to put your content out there and want to continue and have a platform that they can be themselves. They don't have to hide in absurdity of politics. Just be themselves. Be true to themselves and show what they're putting out there. Right? They have to believe in themselves. They have to be. If I'm giving you a platform, you're the one who has to elevate.
Yeah,
It's not just simple. Hey, here's a talk show. Promote yourself. No, you gotta still find yourself and reach a higher light and keep going.
yeah.
It works
That's
hand in. For me, it works hand in hand.
as it should. It's in a sense also like, I don't know, this might sound cheesy where it's like the people that truly gravitate towards you, that believe in you,
Hmm.
that scratch your back. It's one thing to, is to have that, but at the same token, like to reciprocate. And that's a lot of, there's a what I've learned in this business is there's a lot of ego.
Hmm.
There's not a lot of people that genuinely truly wants to see you succeed.
Hmm.
And when they do see you succeeding, it's kind of like an envious ego power trip where like it doesn't end well. It doesn't really lead to good things. But I definitely get what you're saying. It definitely has to pay for itself. But at the end of the day, it's like for me, it's like, man, luckily with this project, there was a budget.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you, it was difficult for me to reach out and to people and say, hey, we have this project coming up. Do you mind supporting? Because I've never been in that situation
Hmm.
where to go out and ask for help because I like to like get it myself.
Hmm.
And that way, it for me it's more enjoyable that way. I don't know, that's just me. But I know it's a challenge, man. It's definitely hard to again, get people invested in what you're doing and
Hmm.
being a part of it. But
Hmm.
is that are you gonna let that stop you? No, absolutely not. You have a goal, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you're inspiring others, you're a leader. You definitely regardless whether it pays itself or not, you're still doing the work, you're putting it in, and everything takes time. I am a firm believer that, I'm here,
Hmm.
and, you know, as long as I'm feeling good, as long as I can still do it, as long as at the end of the day I understand and I feel good about it,
Hmm.
hey, so be it. It's hard, trust me, paying out of pocket and, you know, not really getting anything back, but I see it as, man, if it comes, it comes.
Hmm.
I'll welcome it with open arms. Um, but I can't let that stop me.
No,
I
one
will
hundred
not.
percent.
Absolutely not.
100%. Yeah, 100%. And it's the more you want something, I feel like the more you want something, the more it goes away from you. Like with this is like I told myself until I turn 35, I'm gonna give it till I turn 35. I'm like literally a couple of months away from 35. And and this is a constant argument because one would like to live what they're doing, what they love, right?
Right.
And I fell in love with this. I fell in love learning and talking to people, hearing their new story. But then I'm at a point right now, it's like, how can I stop? Before, when I first started, nobody wanted to give me the opportunity. Now, like, I don't toot my horn, but I'm well known in UK and Australia that I have numerous people from Australia, UK, uh, overseas. I think I have one lady from probably I do apologize, probably getting this wrong, from Transylvania or something like that,
Okay.
right? But it's like, bro, it's not Philly, it's right there,
No,
it's
it's
not
far
around the
out.
corner, right? Contacting me, inboxing me. I put the calendar now, so I just share the calendar. Just book your date, right? And they're knocking on my door. So how can I say no? You feel me?
Absolutely not. You can't say no. I mean, you could, but it's basically there you've created a platform, not
Exactly.
only for yourself but for others. And this is something that brings you satisfaction. Now, it might not bring you a financial satisfaction in a sense, but at the end of the day, like, life is an experience.
Hmm.
It's not an expectation, and this is the experience. And I can go out today and people will remember me as, oh, that's the guy that, what you call it, did those films. And even though I'm not Hollywood top game, not to brag or anything, I'm pretty satisfied with like what I've done so far, what I've achieved, because it's hard. It's hard to be an artist. It's hard to be a creative. Because again, if you're not well known, sometimes people will overlook you,
Hmm.
and oh well, he's not a well, he or she is not a well name. You know, why should we contribute or invest, while they go and invest on someone that they know, uh, that's well known, but that they don't know them. And at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, I see what it is, but it's an experience. It's an experience, and you're helping others. And it's at the same token too, you might learn something that from others that you never knew about
Hmm.
yourself. You never knew, that your strengths, your weaknesses. I mean, I think that's the beauty of it, talking to people and
Hmm.
just kind of like sharing stories and creating bonds and friendships. So kudos to you.
And same to you because I remember the first time you invited me to see one of your not production, but you helped produce, right? So how many people there thanked you that day because you're somebody who connects the dots for everybody to get things done. And people sometimes forget that.
Yeah, they do.
Forget
I
that.
mean, I've been considered or called, the nice guy. Because I like to give people chances. I mean, not everyone deserves a chance. I will be honest. Some people, when you give them a chance, they don't really know what to do with it. Maybe because they never had a chance or they were given that chance by someone. But I think for me, that brings me a lot of satisfaction to to do that because I see myself. I'm one person in this planet, even though there's a bunch of people in this
Right.
planet. But if I can be that person to give opportunity, you know, regardless of the outcome, that's a satisfaction to me. I feel happy about it because, I might be the change in their lives. Not to brag again, but it's hard again to be me. It's hard to be you. So,
Mhm.
you just gotta roll with the punches and keep moving forward, man. Again, life is an experience, not an expectation. I don't really expect anything but, just to experience the good and the bad.
Yeah, 100%. Think you just gotta, like I said before, like we're still in the early stages of the 20th century, right? A lot could change, a lot will change.
Yeah,
And where I think you gotta just outlast it. You gotta outlast it. Like I know in Philly, rap is a big thing. So like when mumble rap came, everyone who liked like rap and bars, right? And I'm just using this as an example, right?
no, of course.
They critiqued it because they could it's not what it's created for, right? But then
Right.
you look at mumble rap, it was really hot, but it slowly started dying down and it started disappearing. Like you don't even hear radio stations playing that type of music because it's not popping, or the people who were like on top are dead due to
Hmm.
overdose. So like everything, even the streaming platforms, like I have a high belief that it's gonna change. This is why I'm telling people, yo, this is the time we need to figure it out and unite and create our own platform. Because like I hate the fact that like they'll put me in a predicament and we're like, oh, your demographic is Latino, you should stick in Latino. But why? But why?
Yeah. Nah.
You get what
That
I'm saying?
Yeah, for me there's nothing beautiful than to have a collaborative group of, you know, eth ethnicities, different
Hmm.
cultures, because we're all we're all different, but at the same token, we come from we were born from one. And so to be Latino, to stick with Latino, I never understood the logic.
Hmm.
So, it, you make your own circle, you make your own tribe,
Hmm.
like whatever feels comfortable and good to you, people that try to be dictators say, no, you should be, since you're Latino, you should be with all the Latinos. If you're with the blacks, all the blacks. I mean, that sounds very very divisive, like very
Yeah.
divisive.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a that doesn't make any sense,
Exactly.
like especially living in the United States, there's all types of people here. This
Yes.
is not this is not China where most people there are Chinese or Puerto Rico, and it's the US. We're all here.
We're all
So
united. We're all
yeah,
united.
we are united. Not we shouldn't be divided. That's no, that's silly to me. That sounds silly.
Yeah. But that's the where we live in when everyone is very sensitive. Everybody wants to be how do I put this? They want to be
We want to have cancel culture.
yeah, they want to have cancel culture. They want to feel identified. And it was like it's because I went back to college and I was taking this film class and I learned a lot about film and a lot how to critique and all that, fun stuff. But like there were certain topics of discussion and we're like, and I'm gonna do my best to say this because I don't want to sound fucked up. But it's like they wanted to like feel uh a sense of identity.
Okay.
And my discussion was like, but what happened to having a good story? What about having a good actor for that role? What
Mm-hmm.
happened to working for it rather
Yep.
than Because a gay guy could play a straight guy good and play a gay guy good. If he has that talent, if he's worked hard to develop that skill, he could play either one. That's not the problem. But it's like you have to have now a sense of community, and that's fine. And I get that, and I'm for it. But like, what happened to having a good story?
Yeah.
Why? And don't get me wrong, because Hollywood's been fucked up. I think that's something has been well documented.
Yeah, a little too long.
Yeah, really long. But like, what happened to just form a contact, having talent, not talent, but people who work to build up their skill to produce a good story, a form of entertainment. What happened to that?
Well, seemingly, everything
Like, am I wrong for feeling the
seem
way that I feel?
no, none at all. I felt that same way too. To this point, it kind of like, not with me, but when 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 I see movies or TV shows, it's kind of like, the same thing. Remakes, reboots, rehashes, all for a quick buck.
Hmm.
Um, the beauty about, or classics
Hmm.
are, you can tell that there was passion, there
Hmm.
was love for the art, for the story. Um, and that's why we grown to love the movies that we do, the shows that we do, the actors that we follow, because it shows in their work. And so, like, nowadays it's, you know all right, let's just throw this movie, this song, this TV show out there,
Hmm.
just to kind of like make a quick buck, you know. And because they know that that's how they hook people. They take a franchise that's been living for like 30 years, and they can make, I don't know, the 20th entry. And that 20th entry, they know it's gonna suck.
Hmm.
They know that there's no story, no passion behind it, but they know that people are gonna watch it because it's well known. It's an IP that's well known. And as long as people continue to watch it and
It's
put
just
money in their pocket,
it's a safe bet.
yeah. And so, we get disappointed, but it's we who are paying them
Hmm.
to keep making trash. So it's disappointing, but things will change. And they're gonna constantly keep changing. And as they continue to change, we change as well. We had, like you said, we have to definitely start thinking about, building a better future now. Definitely uniting,
Hmm.
uh, because at the end of the day, that's how it should be.
Yeah.
No, 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 that's just me.
No, and you're not wrong. Like I think about it, like ever since I started this, I look for radio jobs. Like that's what I want to do.
Okay.
In my 30s, I found myself and found what I like to do. After a whole fucking years of, going through suffering, post-traumatic disorder, trying to deal with my own demons, I found what I want to do, right? You probably found it
All
more
right.
earlier than me, right? But like when you find something you want to do, you want to fall in love with, you fall in love with it. That's what you want to do with the rest of your life, right? Back then, it's
All
who you
right.
know. Back then, it's who you know because there was no social media. Everything wasn't so opened, right? So now we're in an age in that it's open and where it really is who you know, how much followers do you have on your Instagram, um, what experience do you have, and that's about it. So the opportunities to succeed is very small. So you can either continue to
Yeah.
wait for an opportunity to this, let's say, I don't know, Hot 97 or the Breakfast Club in New York to open up for a spot to get the opportunity, or you start building for yourself. You're a fan of film? Are you gonna wait until fucking Tyler Perry or uh a Studio 24 or one of these Miramax or one of these studios give you opportunity to direct, knowing that
Nope.
mostly all those people that are doing those movies because they grew up someplace with some connection in Hollywood.
No, absolutely not. You gotta, no one is coming. No one is coming to save you or give you an opportunity, you have to, you have to be the opportunity. You are the opportunity. You want those people to come to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what that is. You want people to come to you, and you're a walking testament to it. If you got people from the UK, you got people that are outside the US coming to you, knocking at your doors because
I'm
at
into
the end of
that.
the day, yeah, you build something that people are going to believe in and they want to be a part of it. Not everyone, but there's there's
Mm-hmm.
there's 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 a good handful of people, you know, and it goes to show. And it's the same thing here where I'm not waiting for Tyler Perry's, I'm not
Mm-hmm.
waiting for 824's, Hollywood, like if anything, with so many things that I've heard, I don't know truly because I mean I haven't experienced it
Mm-hmm.
there because I'm not there. But just by hearing things, it's a little bit discouraging. And so I'm like, okay, well, for me, Hollywood is where I'm at. The people that I
Mm-hmm.
know, the people that I trust, the people that trust in me, the people that want to collaborate with me. That's my little circle of, fame and fortune in a sense, because they're in a sense in the same boat as I am. They are somebody. They wanna, be seen. They have a voice. Same here. And so the best thing that we could do is work for ourselves, build for ourselves, and whoever wants to come along or long, for the ride,
Yeah,
they're
I'm
more than
into that.
welcome.
Yeah, I'm into
You
that.
know. So it's better to build brick by brick as long as it takes. Patience is the key, and hard work is perseverance, and you have to, if you truly want to be in the industry, if you truly not even in this industry, but be whoever you want to be
Yeah, create your own
and do the
industry.
things. Yeah,
Create your
you,
own,
you gotta you gotta be able to.
yeah, you gotta create your own opportunity. It's gonna take the time it will take, but it's either you do it for yourself or you continue to wait for something that feels like it's never gonna happen. Like it's
Exactly.
like you can't. I've said this numerous times. You can't be a bodybuilder but never go to a gym. You can't be a filmmaker but never write a script or try to direct something, whether it's with your phone, whether a camera, whatever. Like you can't be a content
Yep,
creator if you're not creating content.
that's correct. You got to be hungry about it too. You gotta be hungry about it. You gotta be willing to learn the skills. Because in reality, it's really not about the equipment. It's really about what you got up here, and how you can put this into your work. And eventually, people are going to go out and see it. Your work is going to speak for for you. So it's again, you just got to learn how to be humble
Hmm.
and learn how to really want it and genuinely want it. People can sit there and say, "Yeah, I want to be this and I want to be that," and they stay the same for years. And you ask them like, "Hey, so what's going on?" Nothing. Okay. It's it's hard work, but you got to put in that work if you really want to see results. I mean, it's the same thing as going to the gym, like you were saying.
Hmm.
You want to be a bodybuilder? Great. You got to start dieting. You got to go to the gym. You got to have if you don't have a passion for it, but at least have a focus and discipline, and that all comes with the process. And same thing goes with like filmmaking, modeling, singing, podcasting, anything that's in the entertainment industry. Those are those are definitely the attributes that you definitely should have.
Yeah, you gotta want it. You know, this this
So,
this this my what I'm about to say might ruffle some feathers, but I don't give a fuck. You know, last year I
say it
won.
all. Say it.
Last year I won an award, right? And
Yes, you did.
in my award I mentioned you, and I thank you for helping me and assisting me, right? And
Did.
people couldn't understand why I did that. And I remember one person, I this person I have a friend relationship, mutual respect. So I actually took out the time and answered his question. Right? For those others, I'm gonna take out this time now I have you here. I'm gonna answer that question. And the answer is because you wanted to do something. You wanted people to shine. So it's like, here, you recommended here this person, here this person, here this person. You saw people that wanted opportunities to show their, and you saw somebody needing people to give them a platform, and you gave me that opportunity. You invited me to goddamn, what's the show? The movie with
What, broken?
Franklin Hanau. Remember his name?
Broken?
Is it broken? Nah.
Yeah,
Amy. No, it's not
June's
Amy.
confession.
June's Confession. There you go. All right,
June's
that's the first.
confession.
That was the first time I went over there, and
Yep.
you kept sending people my way, helping me build my platform, while I helped you promote your stuff and others people's stuff. You did that for me, and people didn't understand why. And when I explained to that person at least, it's because he wanted that. He wanted to succeed, but he also wanted others to succeed.
Absolutely.
And not everybody does that, and not everybody wants that. People like to sit there and talk their shit and don't do anything. Don't do it. Don't help themselves, but don't help others either.
Yeah.
So like
And those
what
are
no, go ahead.
those are basically the energies that you don't want around you. Those are the vibes you don't want around you, because it's like, I don't want to deal with uh people are just not going to elevate me.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I'm not asking people to elevate me,
Yeah.
but it's a good feeling to have to elevate others, while in the same token, they're elevating you to where you need to be. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why I'm like, it's funny that you mentioned Frank. Because he's actually on board doing Bonds of Grief with me. So shout out to you, Frank. But yeah, it's not that I'm a nice guy. I am, but it's one of those things where, like, I see opportunity and I like to give people the opportunity. I like to, not only see myself succeeding, however that may look, but see others, growing and succeeding, and, feeling good about the things that they're doing, because that's really what I want for me. So again, for the people that had asked that question, I hope that question was answered. And again, you should be not just only your own cheerleader, but definitely you should be cheering your friends. You should be cheering those that really cheer you on. It should never be one sided. It should be, a mutual. It should be reciprocated.
Mm-hmm.
Most people be like, "But nah, I'm not. I don't think I should. I should reciprocate. I shouldn't, do anything." But at the end of the day, you got to look out for your people. You got to look out for the people that look out for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's basically what that is. It's very plain and simple.
Yeah. I mean, people ask me why. I say, why not? Why not?
Exactly.
No one something I've been a person, I've always tried to do things myself. Because
Hmm.
when you have a vision and you're trying to complete a vision, that's when everybody will sit there and call you crazy. Call you crazy. Actually, what are you doing? Why? And questions your motive and your action, your belief, right? But then when you actually accomplish it, you're a fucking genius. And and
Hmm.
I'm explaining in the way how social media has explained it numerous of times, so I'm not saying anything different, right? But why,
All right.
right? So when I realized that I can't do everything on my own, and building this is building relationships, right? Building as I'm growing, you're growing. And if you've
Exactly.
been to support me to try and support yourself, why not? Why not?
Exactly.
What is so wrong giving more credit is due?
Hmm.
People, like I said, people ask me why I didn't think or I didn't say certain other people, and you didn't do nothing for me. You didn't do nothing for me. You thought the first episode at the first episode I ever did was gonna be gone. I wasn't gonna be
Yeah.
doing it. You didn't have the faith that I was gonna get here, and now you do is because I gave you that faith. I made you believe. I made you see. I made you hear. I made you understand my obsession that I had. And sometimes
Yeah.
like and it's difficult because I ask God to give me sometimes to be humble. And in my
Hmm.
personal life, I'm not. I'm an asshole. I can be a really shitty person, and I say things how it is. That's who I am. I do my best to be humble. But it's difficult.
Oh, I trust me. You're a
It's
Leo.
difficult when you
You're a
have
Leo, sir.
it's difficult when you have people all your life telling me you can't do nothing, you can't be nothing for yourself. But why
Hmm.
not? It's difficult for me when I grew up in a place that had no hopes and dreams, and where the best bet I was gonna do is sell drugs and be killed by 15.
Hmm.
And it's difficult because I take that shit personal. Why not?
Exactly. You know, only you understand. You understand your path. You understand your journey. You understand, your shortcomings, your mishaps, and everything in life. Always, is put there. It happens for a reason. But at the same token, I see there where it's like, for me, I have, I have a family.
Yeah.
Um, and it's non-existent, where the support is non-existent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it does bother me. Where like you would want people to
Yeah.
that say that they're in your corner, that they that claim they, that they love you. For me, love is not just kind of like, okay, well, I'm your daughter, I'm your son, I'm your husband, I'm your wife. It's deeper for me at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, okay, I know what you're doing, but there's no, hey, do you need like do you need anything?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know. I have a house, you can film in my house if you like, I'll
Mm-hmm.
charge you though. But at least to give the option.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a lonely road.
yeah,
That's one thing I learned about artists. It's a very lonely road.
yeah.
Um, but hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I'm pretty sure, like they know, and maybe they feel ashamed, but you're on top. You're on top of your own world,
Mm-hmm.
and you're human. You're imperfect. No one is perfect. You're a work in progress. I always say that. And at the end of the day, you keep doing what you love to do. You keep inspiring. You keep us aspiring. You keep moving. You keep showing up. You put the work. Keep
Yeah.
grinding, because at the end of the day, it's showing.
No,
Regardless
and
of what, no matter what, if it's you and no one
yes,
else.
yes. And even if you like I tell like, I've had and I know you've had this moments, we always have those moments alone and where we question ourselves. And it's
Mhm.
and until we see something and until I believe until we see it paying our bills, whether it's 150, 100, it contributes something, right? We we're gonna question if this worth it. And even if it never works, at least you tried.
Mhm.
There's so many people that hate on you because not saying you, but in general, hate on a person
Right.
because they're angry. They see you tried and they never tried.
That's a It's kind of like an oxymoron, because
Yeah.
I'm no, when you look at me, I look at you, you're a human being.
Hmm.
We might have different features, we might have different background stories, but I'm a human just like you, and just like I put in the work, anyone else can do it, you know? Anyone else can do it. You just gotta really want it. And you gotta find yourself. You gotta find what really you're passionate about. And do things that you're passionate about. Just don't do things because you just want to do them.
Hmm.
That's illogical to me. You gotta really want it. And
Yeah.
so, you know, there's a lot of hate.
Hmm.
There's, haters out there. The hater rate is real, but that really makes you put things into perspective. You're doing something right.
Hmm.
Had no one said anything, you might question yourself then, like, wait a minute, okay, where's the noise? I don't hear anything.
Hmm.
But there's always noise when you're being successful, when you're reaching the top. Again, lonely road, so be it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as it brings you satisfaction and happiness, man, and headaches,
Yeah.
it's good. It's all good.
I mean, even if it's a hobby, like it brings you happiness. That's all. Do what
Yeah.
you love, right? Do what you love. I,
Do
I
what you love.
I met this guy that I started watching his videos on Instagram. Like he takes fucking Hot Wheel toys, he dismantles them, builds them up his way. He got millions of views. Like makes him happy.
Yeah,
Like what is so wrong about that? You know, like and people are so highly critical thing about things they never experienced, they never tried, they never bothered understanding or curious to understand.
they just got to get out their way. They have to get out their own way. They're out of their own head and just really trust the process. I mean, what I don't know. It's just kind of like, I think, we both understand, how hard it is.
Hmm.
But we haven't allowed that to consume us. We're not where we were a year ago, two
Yeah.
years ago. We're still technically growing. We're still students, but we believe in the process. And that's really all it takes is it takes, belief. You got to believe in yourself for others to believe in you. And even if even if no one else believes in you,
Hmm.
believe in yourself.
Hmm.
That's all you are all you need to succeed.
Hmm.
You can do it. So
Yeah, I would say like have standards for yourself. Whatever you want to
yeah,
do, have standards for yourself because I get irritated when people like, oh yeah, I want to start a podcast. All right, start it. What is the fundamental values of why you're starting this? Oh, I want to make money. Shit, people like you is why I'm not making money. Because you want to go start this and thinking it's going to be a quick flip, then let it linger, let it be more saturated, and where now that space is basically becomes useless for people who are
yep,
trying to excel, right? Like I tell
yep.
everybody, this is a show. I call it a podcast because it's a platform. It's another platform, but it's a show,
It is.
you know. And man, I can say so much, and I'm really biting my tongue. But
It's a
set
lot.
yeah,
It's a lot.
you gotta set values for yourself because there's gonna point in time people are gonna challenge your what you love and try to nitpick and tell you this is what you do. But like if you never done it before,
You
if
have no sense.
you haven't listened, like I get there's people who want to talk that don't listen, don't watch, don't contribute, but want to give opinions on something they've never done before.
Humans, man. People.
Anyway, bro, you're excited for WrestleMania?
It's gonna be here in Philly. I'm not going to 2 nights. I'm going just to one night, but just it'll be my first Mania. I can't believe it took them like years for them to come back. I think the first one was in '99,
Wow.
Austin and The Rock. But this time, we got Reigns and Rhodes again in Philly. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Are you gonna go the last night or the like because like they divide it in two now, like so like the main event is gonna be on Saturday, on Sunday.
Yeah. So Sunday, I thought about it and I'm like, should I go to night one? Should I go to night two? Mind you, and this was like months before we even knew who was going to be on the card.
Mm,
And so I was just like, all right, I just do night two. And so obviously seems like that's probably going to be the better night because there's going to be several wrestlers there that, I know they're going to put on a great show, but
hmm.
yeah, man, I'm excited. I wish I can go to like all the festivities. Like they're going to be here for, I think for like 5 days from like Thursday all the way to Monday. I'm really
Wow.
trying to get to like meet the Undertaker, go to his show. I think it's next Thursday. Tickets are cheap. It's anywhere from like 100 to like $200, which is cheapy cheap. And
If
just
you're a
to hear him
single
talk.
person with no kids, you're a single
Yep,
person with
single
no
person with no
kids.
kids. Single person with no kids, man. So it's like, you know, it's probably gonna be my only opportunity to see the Undertaker in person, hear his stories, not see him wrestle, but just to get to say, damn, I saw the Undertaker.
Yeah,
So well, who knows, man? I'm excited though.
that's what's
I'm
up.
excited.
if I had a chance to go, I'll probably just go the last night to see how that Cody Rhodes story plays out.
Man, hey, tickets are still on sale, and there's you would think it's sold out, but it's not. It's not sold out. For it to be Mania,
Mm.
not sold out at all. So who knows?
I'm probably they're probably waiting to see what's gonna be. I mean, for me, it's gonna be like it's gonna be mad money because I probably have to drive all the way to Philly, rent a hotel, spend money with the kids. Like it's gonna be a
They're into
financial,
wrestling.
yeah, it's gonna be a fucking financial deal. But like, I definitely want to see. I hope I want to see Cody win. I'm tired of seeing him whine and crying already. You know,
Yeah, man, me too.
like I have this thing is like your name is Nightmare. Like, there's no reason why you should be such a caring John Cena fucking baby face. But
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking
yeah, me
forward
too,
to
man.
it. What's your thoughts on AEW?
So, okay, when AEW first got on the map, it was very interesting for me because it kind of reminded me of like the good old days, like the Attitude Era, which
Mm,
was probably the best era in wrestling.
yeah.
But now, I don't know. I think they're just kind of like falling off. Um, and it's crazy, you would think like, oh, they will keep the momentum, but it's basically like all the wrestlers who have ever badmouthed the WWE has like jumped ship to that promotion, and it's kind of like a WWE 2.0 because it's like there's certain new wrestlers, but it's like, damn, you got Jericho, now you got like Sasha Banks, you had Sting, you had the Hardy Boys. There's just wrestlers there that are like, okay, maybe when they're all gone and they start, getting some newcomers, maybe it'll be as exciting, but I don't know. I don't think it's as interesting as I first saw it when I first
Uh,
like watched maybe the first pay-per-view. Now Punk is in like
yeah,
WWE, so it's kind of like,
yeah. Everything everything I have envisioned because like I don't really have anybody to talk wrestling with. But everything I have
yeah,
envisioned has happened. Everything I have envisioned, listen, has happened. Because first of all, history always repeats itself.
exactly.
Always, right? Second of all, like once you do something, like you can't if you're gonna start with a company, you can't be like, oh yeah, we're aiming for WWE to kick them off. You can't.
Yep.
It's a company that's gone through everything, lawsuits, injuries, sexual harassment, all this shit. It survived because it has that experience with the bumps and bruises on
Mhm.
what to do and what not to do.
Yep.
You're saying because you're son of a billionaire or whatever, and you want to go to war with these people because all these people are bitter. All these
Mhm.
people are bitter, and most of them are just people that wasn't really good. Like if you look at
Yeah.
their stage and look at a WWE stage, it's a totally different platform atmosphere. The
Yep.
production of WWE to like you have to have somebody with experience and with a vision to understand what's it like to produce content like that. Just based on content, they're not beating them. You're
Yeah.
taking like when I first saw the inner circle and where Jericho was the face. I love Jericho, but Jericho is a spotlight hogger.
Yeah. He is.
He's a spotlight hogger. Like this is why like you need people like within the WWE to tell you no because you got to
Mhm.
stop him at a certain point. Like Paul
Yep.
Heyman, Paul Heyman's a genius, but you got to stop him. You got to stop him.
Well, Paul, I'm excited though for him. He got inducted this year to the Hall of Fame,
It's
which
about
is
damn
crazy.
time.
Yeah, about time. And best thing that happened in Philly. Where he definitely was a very huge part of ECW. Here in Philly.
Hmm.
So, and it's crazy because the WWE paid Paul Heyman to have that promotion.
Hmm.
So, it's again, you just gotta really, really, you know,
It's poor.
no
Listen,
one to say
it's
you can't.
poor management, man. Poor management.
Yeah,
Like when you have wrestlers and you're constantly giving them what they want. This is what happened with WCW. They're slowly
mm,
deteriorating. You bring all those people that like that's one thing when I say about WWE, like if they kick you out, your job is to reinvent yourself. It's because you weren't able to reinvent yourself here.
yeah,
You see people like Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, that they went basically around the world and reinvented themselves and they're back
yep,
there. It's because you like unfortunately like WWE has when it comes to their NXT and whatnot, it becomes an institution. You're
yeah,
not gonna get too much experience from there. You got to really go out, go to Mexico, go to Japan, go to Puerto Rico, go to the Caribbean where they're big in wrestling. You got to go and experiment. Go to these indies. Like with that, you're developing so much how to understand the crowd alone because you
yep.
could work for two people and go work millions of people felt in front of fucking WrestleMania. What's his name? He's
Oh,
in he's in AEW now. Adam Cole.
oh,
Like Adam Cole, like I've seen him in WWE, but I also see him in person when he was a Ring of Honor. Like I've seen
okay.
him wrestle like Dean Ambrose when he was in CCW, like wrestle two or three people and a hardcore match doing stupidity, right? And then now see him in WrestleMania or these major pay-per-views. Like there's a different experience. You start learning crowds, learning understanding people, evolving as a
Mm-hmm.
person and as a wrestler. And I don't think you're able to do that in WWE.
No, WWE is very, very, very tight. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like there's certain things you can and cannot do. And I mean, again, it depends who's running the ship. The good thing with
Mm-hmm.
Triple H, at least, is that Triple H is very creative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's allowing. I was even shocked when when the Royal Rumble happened, and he had, especially for the women's Royal Rumble, he had called up the TNA Knockout
Champion. Yeah.
Champion.
That was
I was just
dope.
like, what the hell is she doing there? And I'm like, it's because he's creating those opportunities. And I think for him as a business, because he knows the business, so it's different.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be reinventing yourself, even as a business. Opening doors to like other promotions for other talent to showcase. In your business. Not no
Mm-hmm.
one is saying to take them, but that's a conversation for like another day. It's just that's how you do it. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
keep reinventing yourself, your business, your brand. And that's good. That's good stuff for him. So that's why hopefully, this WrestleMania, especially now
Mm-hmm.
with The Rock,
Mm-hmm.
being on top of, TKO and being an owner himself, it's gonna be something.
Yeah. Having people that understand the product too. That's very important. If you can't like if you don't that's another thing, bro. It's like you can't start something if you don't fully understand what you're doing.
Exactly.
And like Tony Khan, he's just a wrestling fan that says, "Yeah, I started this company. That's it." It's like when Ted Turner started WCW. Like you wanted to make money competing with this company, but it's not like you knew anything about it. Like you can go to you can fucking go to Harvard, come with a big ass degree and work for WWE. But if you don't know nothing about fucking wrestling, it's not gonna work.
It's not. It's not.
You know, and like look at Edge, Edge, a main eventer, right? He's been like a couple of months now in AEW, and you tell me the only storyline you have with him is to work with Christian.
And become a champion. Something that, they didn't give him
Mm-hmm.
in WWE. But, it also comes down to like, what do you really want to do? Like
Mm-hmm.
for Edge, it was great to see him back after, years of like not seeing him wrestle. But, there comes a time where like you have to really know when to like hang it up, as painful as that might sound and see. But I mean, Taker did it, and that again, it's like he said, he in his mind and in his heart he wants to keep doing it, but it's his body. He
Mm-hmm.
knows his body. His body
Mm-hmm.
isn't gonna allow him to keep, doing the stuff that he used to, and he's a high level performer. So, I think I don't know. Some people just have to know when to hang it up. You got Ric Flair, who's like 70 plus years old. I'm like, dude, you was like one of the greatest of all time, and like
Mm-hmm.
you now you remind me of Mae Young,
Yeah.
Mae Young and the Fabulous Moolah when just kind of like just slow mo, like what?
Yeah.
Your
But
jabs, your punches, like
yeah,
slow.
like AEW right now is just paying veteran veteran wrestlers or wrestlers that doesn't want. That's basically it.
Basically, that's what that is.
Like, and
Yeah,
all the major people they have signed like for New Japan. I'm sorry, but like they're spot monkeys. They do big moves, and if they
yeah.
if that's how they get their fame. Once you go to WWE, you can't work like that because you're working 365 a year. Try to do that same move night in, night out.
Yep.
It's not gonna happen. You're gonna get hurt and all that like that how do I say that energy from being signed and put out there like it's gonna go away and you're gonna fall off and you're gonna get pissed and they're gonna have you doing some stupid crap that before Cody Rhodes became the nightmare, have him in spots and shit.
Nah, man. I mean, thankfully, Cody grew up and realized, it was time to, say farewell. You leave a legacy behind everywhere you go, and he's back in the WWE, and hopefully he does win the championship. Hopefully so. Hopefully this is another. You lost twice at WrestleMania.
Mm,
That'd be crazy if that happens. But nah, I think he's gonna win it. I think Roman is gonna get betrayed by The Rock. That's gonna set up next year's WrestleMania. Yeah, I mean, again, it's really about storylines, and that's really what now the WWE is doing better is really like building stories and feuds that
hmm
make sense that you want to see.
And just
So
even storyline, like it doesn't have to be for the belt or that's the thing. I don't like when they make it too about the belt. Like I,
yeah,
I want rivalry. You get what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
good storytelling, good storylines, good wrestling matches. Like the Intercontinental Champion, what's his name?
Oh,
Uh
Gunther.
Gunther. Yeah, him and Cable from the is it Alpha Wrestling or something like that?
Yeah,
Like they have good wrestling match. Like and
they do.
as they should. And that's sometimes what's needed. And then you need the high flying. Like if they know how to give good storylines, like the Latino World Order, I feel like it's stale. I feel like
Yeah, it's getting stale.
they just brought it back for Bad Bunny, and they did that thing in Puerto Rico, and that's it. And not really, it's not really building up.
No, it's not. It's not. Even with like returns from like Andrade and Carlito. Um, yeah, I just think how can I put this? I don't even think they have a match at
Hmm
Mania. Like I'm thinking to myself, like how dare like Latinos not be represented at Mania this year?
hmm
But I mean, I there's still what a couple of shows left to
hmm
determine what other matches are there. But I mean, if you're gonna do something like something big,
hmm
like definitely capitalize on it because the whole Bad Bunny in Puerto Rico, like Bad Bunny and Damian Priest,
hmm
and I really hope I really hope Damian Priest cashes that Money in the Bank, and I hope he does become the world champion. I hope so. I don't care who he cashes it on. It could be Cody Rhodes. I don't care. It's just like, dude, like cash that in, seize your opportunity, be world champion at least for a little while. Because
Yeah,
I think if I mean I might be mistaken, but I think well in the modern day that will be maybe the very first Hispanic world champion
could be, could be.
in the modern
Uh,
day era because I mean you got Reigns who's Samoan, uh,
hmm
Rollins even though his last name is Lopez, he's not really. I don't think he's really Hispanic. So
You know,
I mean it's
Bobby Lashley, he's Dominican.
Is he?
Yeah, he's Dominican.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's Dominican. This guy, what's his name? That he walks. He has his wife, is blonde. That's with him.
Oh, Rusev?
Not Rusev. Damn, what's his
Oh,
name?
The Miz.
No, not the Miz. He's he came out recently with God, what's his name, man? That he came out with these two guys that were back in the day that were big, the OTO, something like
Oh,
that.
Karen Cross.
Karen Cross, he's Puerto Rican.
Is he?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, I think just Bobby Lashley was the last Hispanic champion, and he was a WWE champion, not the Universal champion. So it's like that's equivalent to the heavyweight champions.
Okay. No, yeah, for sure. Oh, well, there we go.
Besides that, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully he catches his the Money in the Bank. I look forward and see what's coming up next. You know.
I hope so. I hope for his sake, Priest definitely is. He's a phenomenal talent. I mean, I don't know the guy, but I've seen the guy on TV. Um, and hopefully he does cash it in. I don't
Listen,
care on which
he
champion
was
it
in he was in
is.
I've seen him. He was in I say IWA in Puerto Rico. That's like is either
Okay.
IWA or WWC. WWC is where like Carlito Colon, uh, that's where his family started the company. So there's either those two companies. I seen him in AWA, no IWA, Wasabio Vega. So I seen him
Okay.
rise. When he was chubby and ugly to now he's fit and looking kind of pretty. So to see him escalate and to see where he's at now, I would like to see that. Definitely, most definitely.
No, for sure. For sure.
But Zay, has been on talking to you once again, man.
First, man, is always a pleasure.
You already know that once your new film comes out, you're more than welcome to come here with the cast and we'll chop it up and talk about
Absolutely.
the film. Before we go, please tell the people where they can find you at.
Yeah, you can find me on social media. I am on Facebook, Zay Rodriguez, or you can find me on Instagram if you have Instagram at the official Zay Rod.
Boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Where can they find your short films?
They can find my short films on YouTube. It's youtube.com/Junitos_studios. Also, you can search for me on IMDb. That's the Internet Movie Database. Just search Zay Rodriguez and you'll see a plethora of some of my work.
Boom, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Mr.Dreaminspired10. Go follow me on Facebook. I'm releasing all my episodes on Facebook now. That's Diomar King Diaz. Go check out my merch at dreaminspired10.com. I'm out, guys. Have a good night.